Straight from the heart, yeah. We all looking for a connection, something real, something true. In a world full of broken promises, I still believe in you. Every problem, every answer, got a face, got a...
Have you ever felt stuck? Not lazy, not unmotivated, just stuck. You feel like something needs to change, but you're not even sure where to start. You know, sometimes you feel extremely tired, the kind of tired that sleep can't even fix. What started happening with me, I started talking to women, and that's what I was hearing more than anything. I was hearing them say things like, I'm tired, but I still have to function. They're saying, what is this soft season everyone's talking about? They're talking about it, but they're not telling you how to get there, right? So soft season became this elusive thing or just this fantasy, but I wanted it to become a practice. So I started doing some digging, and I realized this. When you're overwhelmed, you don't need 10 steps. You just need one. Because 10 steps will have you shutting down, right? Let me say that again. You don't need 10 steps. 10 steps will make you shut down. But we've discovered this. When the brain can't handle everything and it's overloaded, it can handle one step. That's all you need, one step. One step creates movement. Movement creates clarity, and clarity is where peace comes from. So that's where the one-step method came from. Not 12 steps, not fixing your whole life, just one powerful step out of survival into your soft season. Strong enough to move, soft enough to breathe. That part. So over 4 weeks, we're going to slow things down for you. We're going to help you get out of survival mode. We help you notice what's actually keeping you stuck. Then we help you choose yourself without guilt. And we help you take that one clear step forward, with support, of course. I'm even going to show you how to use some simple tools. Think of it as a thinking partner. Even AI is when your mind is cluttered and crowded, and you just need a thinking partner. Nothing technical, just support. So this is the invitation. If you're craving a soft season, this is where it starts. If you're tired of surviving and ready to choose yourself, you're welcome here. If you don't need information, but you just need one step, this one is for you. The one-step method. Happy Sunday, you're all. We're live. And it's the first Sunday in February, you guys. This is the love month. Whew, this is my month. So as you know, I always say I love love. And this is the month to, we should express it all the time. But this is one of those months where I don't have to feel bad about talking so much about love, right? So we're going to give people a chance to run over here to check in. I'm looking now to see where my family is. You guys, I don't know about you, but I'm so grateful. I was so excited about the snow, right? And I was so excited to see it parting so I can get out of my driveway without spinning my wheels. And we're going to get on the subject, but I do want to say, not mean to talk about the weather, but I was really mad because I didn't get a chance to get out and do snow angels in the snow, because by the time I was ready to get out there, I got sick. So by the time I was ready to get out there, hey, Lonsine, hey, Carmen, my girls and my folks is showing up. By the time I was ready to get out there, it had started melting enough to make it kind of hard on top. And I was thinking, no, that probably wouldn't be a good look. So I didn't do it. But I have a feeling I'm going to have a chance to do it. I hear there's snow still in St. Louis, and there's also some in Atlanta. So who knows? I might get a chance to still do it. Hey, Kimberly, great show, by the way. If you guys missed Kim and Birdie, that was right before me. you'll get a chance to watch it. The replay will be there. So make sure you watch it because they talked about love as well. And I love. Hey, Mary, our diamond is in the house. So we're going to get this going. Lonzie said, good evening, everyone. We're going to get this going. My diamond too, right? Thank you, Lonzie. We're going to get this thing going because this subject came up. Teach them. Hey, Birdie, you and Kim did an awesome job talking about love. You know, I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that y'all touched on last hour, just a little bit. And I know you guys probably already know that. But this show is also about love, you guys. It is about, do you teach somebody to love you or no? Let me tell you why I said or not. Because that is still an ongoing discussion. Do you teach people how to love you or not? So on the last hour, Kim and Birdie were talking about, you know, what is love? How do you describe love? And so now I understand how hard it is when you want to say something and you can't text or you can't type fast enough. So let me tell you what to do. I was going to say speak into the phone, but if you really got something you want to say, be ready. Be ready for let me just snatch you in. I could tell my producer, look, somebody has their hand up. They want to jump in here for a minute. So I am going to start leaving that space open, especially when I'm doing a show tonight, like by myself, right? Hey, we'd love to buy one of your shirts. One of these. Okay, I have to make these available because I do get people asking me about this one and the colorful one. So as I'm talking about love, and they were defining it last hour too, it was hard for me to text and say, hey, love is what that person describes it as, because I may say love to me is, dang, I'm missing my ring. Anyway, y'all, I still have it. It hasn't been snatched back. I just took it off to shower and put on stuff and I left it off. But anyway, I'm watching here for comments, but now I see people's pain. It's like you want to respond so fast and you can't say it enough. I don't see it. Yes. Go to my page. Somebody's asking where we are. Go to my page. So I'm saying to me, and I'm learning that love is, of course, outside of the biblical definition, love is patient, love is kind, it keeps no record of wrongs. It is, it endures, it hopes, it always believes. Those are definitely, dang, Facebook. Those are definitely definitions, spiritual definitions, and that agape love. But let's say this. Carmen also said in the last hour, love is a word. And I know Todd will say that love is a verb. Love is action. Love is what you do. Love is more than, you love in more than just words. You love in actions. You love in thoughts. You love with a whole lot, with everything that you are, really. He found it. Okay, so you love with everything that you are. So the question came up, what is it? I think it's defined differently by an individual. I used to say, treat everybody like you want to be treated. But that's not cool if you think about it. Everybody don't want to be treated like me. I might say love to me is snuggling and send me some flowers, say sweet things, spending time with me. And for somebody else, they may be like, I don't want no flowers. And I just tell me you love me. Make sure the bills are paid. We cool. I think Bertie mentioned his dad showed his love. He wasn't overly romantic, but he showed his love by what he did, providing for his family and being there, right? That is also a form of love. So in the quest to figure out what your spouse or partner feels is love. Hey, Grace, amazing Grace is in the house. What your spouse or partner feels is love may not be the definition of what somebody else's spouse or partner feels is love. So let me say this, be careful when you ask your friends or somebody else how to love your spouse. I still say the best person to ask how they feel love is to ask the person. Now, this is where we're going to have some issues. I cannot wait to see this. Hey, Todd.
So I cannot wait to hear the response on this. Okay. So I have friends that are very adamant about saying in the dating situation, they refuse to teach a person, hey, pretty Nikki. I'm on this subject again. They refuse to teach a person how to love them. They just feel like the person that is supposed to be in my life will know how to love me, right? That's how they feel. They're like, hey, I don't want to teach anybody how to love me. I'm thinking if that person needs to be in my life, the things that they do are going to be enough. And I'm going to know they love me based on how they treat me. True. He said, everybody get your red cups and popcorn. Bertie, you know me so well. You know I'm fixing to be a messy saint, right? So with that being said, people can't read your mind. I'm going back to that again. I'm sorry people can't read your mind because what is good for me may not be good for the girl that you dated last. So she didn't like flowers, right? She didn't like flowers. She didn't like you holding her hand. I'm not that chick. I am not that chick. I like all of that. So in me loving love and me, I know it's hard for y'all to imagine. Even with me being that tomboy, and Tom will say it sometimes, baby, you kind of have more masculine traits sometimes than feminine traits. Even with me being not overly mushy and had that tomboy spirit sometimes, I love all the mushy stuff. I love the snuggles. I love the flowers. I love the being treated like a princess, a pampered princess. Go back to my dad. My dad was a hardworking man, and I don't think he was overly romantic to my mom. But when it came to his daughter, oh yes, all the sweet things, baby, what you want? Come here with your pretty, all this stuff, right? And meanwhile, he was getting on my mama's nerves, but he would say all those things to me, right? So Kim said she wanted all too. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Drew, long time no see. So thank you for my stars, pretty Nikki. She sent me 20 stars. So, you guys found out what your girl wants, right? Not what the last one wanted. The last one didn't like that. The last one was gonna just sit up and watch football with you. Hey, the last one was like, Sister Angee, I just want to watch football. Get out my face with them flowers. What are they here for? Do they have bugs on them? That kind of thing. But your sister over here and Sister Kim, we want all of that. I mean, and it's not even a monetary thing. It's the thought that counts, right? I like the mushy stuff. And so like I could say something sometimes and Sweetie will have a response and I'm like, wow, that was the right thing to say. I couldn't have even come up with that. And I think I come up with some good stuff, right? So let me tell you, brothers, I'm gonna get on the brothers first. I'm coming around to the sisters. I don't let us go. I don't let us escape. By the way, if you like what you're hearing and seeing, please, you're watching me on Facebook, but I need you to go over also to YouTube. And let me tell you why this is important. I want you to go over to YouTube and like and share, hit like and share on that button. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it is a big, big benefit for me and what I'm trying to do. Also, I have to tell you, put that back up, Angee, that we're on dopejamsradio.online. So head over there. You can listen to it. So even if you can't plug into any of that, or even if you can, that also helps us, you guys. People are supporting us and really trying to support what we talk about, and they feel like we're adding value to their lives. So you help us by subscribing in YouTube. You help us by listening to Dope Jams Radio Online. So with that being said, let's jump into brothers. It's Valentine's Day, right? It's the love month. Now, even if you have been unromantic all year long, and y'all know who I'm talking to, some of y'all, I'm talking directly to you. It ain't even me. It's the spirit, right? Talking directly to you. You have been reckless in your love emotion, your love language, and your mushiness, or whatever you want to call it. This is a month. A lot of y'all don't celebrate. I used to have somebody be like, I don't celebrate any holidays. Well, that's because you scared you might have to give a gift or two. But listen to me. If there's somebody you got a crush on, somebody you love, somebody you respect, take them a flower or two. If they don't like flowers, take them some chocolate candy. They don't like chocolate candy and you like them, find out what they like. Take them that. You haven't done it all through the year, do it now. If they've been cooking for you, you ain't been washing dishes, I'm gonna need you see you busting some suds this month a couple times. So Kim said, I need to know I'm thought of and that you are listening to me. Yes, and one way you are listening to people is speaking their love language, not your own. Not your own. Because I'm gonna say I'm guilty of that. Now I'm gonna jump on the ladies. I love us. I'm telling you, I love me some me. I love my sisters. Y'all know most of my passion is to helping women discover themselves, helping women get out of that sacrificial, stressed out. I'm loving everybody and they don't appreciate it. You feel like that because you ain't appreciating yourself. Let's keep it real. So love on yourself and you'll show other people how to love you. So sometimes it ain't even saying words. It's doing what you do for you. You're being an example for other people and they figure out how to love you. They'll be like, well, I do know when she's stressed out, she'll go get a massage in a minute. So I know she loves massages. I'm going to make sure my sweetie has a massage. She loves that, right? And don't be trying to give it yourself. You know that don't work. It lasts probably all of 5 minutes and you're tired or you've moved on to something else. And yeah, popcorn and red cups. You'd have moved on to something else. So anyway, I'm headed there, Birdie. I'm headed there. Sisters. And I'm telling you because I am one. The man cannot read your mind. When y'all first dated, you hated flowers. But now all of a sudden, you're in a season, you're feeling the softer side of you. It feels good. It feels, hey, B. It feels good. And now you want flowers. Well, you didn't want flowers before. Men, one thing that is certain is change. And another thing that is certain is women changing. And don't get all built up about that because men do it too. We better be changing. We better be changing. We better be growing. We better always be in that mode, right? But because of this, hey, Rolando, all my peeps I haven't heard from in a while checking in. So with that being said, I need you guys to understand something. Women are fickle. We can change our mind. So check in every now and then. Baby, how you feeling today? Don't take that, I'm fine. If they say I'm fine like that, they ain't fine. Okay, so what do you want? What do you need? And why do you have to do that? I don't know. I mean, no, I'm not going to say I don't know. Because you love that person. And vice versa. Sometimes men will come in and they won't say nothing. They won't even show any signs. And because of what they deal with out there, that's if you're living with them, right? Or even if you're not, if you notice a difference in their voice when you call them on the phone, something's not right. Check in when you love that person. Say, how's your day? I heard this from a male person. Sometimes you just listening to them, even if they're ranting, even if they're talking about something that totally does not even closely resemble something you're interested in, just listening. So, true story, I'm not going to call anybody's names because I don't do that, right? When you're a relationship coach or counselor, you hear things sometimes and you know it's going to be important for people who are listening, but you don't want to say anybody's names. So this one brother, he was married to a woman who used to work in a strip club, right? Used to work in a strip club. And she didn't strip. I mean, I'm telling you his story. She didn't strip. But what her job was as a bottle girl, she walked around and made sure everybody had drinks. They were having a good time. And sometimes she got the biggest tips just sitting there. I'm assuming she wasn't sitting there. She was sitting in close proximity, maybe not on the lap. But anyway, just listening, not responding, not touching, not being touched, just listening. She would make so much money. I don't know. It probably has something to do with how she was looking too. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not calling no names, Bertie. You better stop that. So anyway, his testimony was she had gotten so good at those. She had good, and I don't know if she was half naked. I'm not, well, I was not there. I'm not going to start rumors, Kim. But the point is, the brother was saying that his wife had gotten so good at listening to men and just being there for them that that was one of the things that he loved about her. Now, she was good looking too. Say that probably helped. But but one of the things he loved about her was a skill she had learned at the strip club. This in no means is an advertisement for the strip club. I'm just saying that. So don't get mad at me. I'm telling you a true story. This ain't something I heard or it was a rumor. This is a true story. The point is, women, if men want to be heard, that is a sign that you love them. Now, if that is how they're communicating by talking to you, Kim keeps saying those bottle girls are half naked. Kim, I'm gonna need you to stay focused. We're talking about love language. So yeah, and you don't want me to go there. I'll be like, hey, so if you're in a love language, ask your guy. I mean, does he want you to listen like that, or he wants you to just to listen, with your sweatpants on and your baseball cap turned backwards, or would he prefer you listen like a bottle girl? I don't know. But the point is, brothers, tell me which way you want them to listen. I will share it with them. Just saying. So at that, we're all grown here. So let's talk about, do you teach them to love you or not? My opinion is, please tell me. Maybe this is my male energy. I cannot read your language. I can read sign language, but I can't read all your languages. So if there's something I'm saying and something I'm doing that doesn't show up as love to you, please tell me. Bertie, you're such a troublemaker. You're a messy saint. I'm going to say it. There's messy saints and there's messy saints. Lonzie said it takes a sense of self-worth to teach someone how to love you. She's still saying it. Because your love interests may have to make adjustments. Women adjust for everyone else. Girl, I don't know. If I had an offering plate, I would pass this around right now. Brothers, this is really true. I hate to say it, but sometimes brothers can be selfish. You can be selfish, and that's okay. It's okay. I say we should be honest. Brothers, you can be selfish. Women can be wishy-washy. Bottom line. But if you love each other and if you really care about each other, you're going to have to take time to figure out what that love looks like to the other person. How are you going to know that? How are you going to know that? Kim says, Bertie, tell them how you want it. Kim, leave Bertie alone, because Bertie will be on here getting me in trouble. He ain't even in here. I need to pull him in here. He ain't even in here. He'll be on here getting me in trouble. Todd says, if you want to be loved, you better teach them how to love you. There's a song like that, teach me how to love you. Now, I'm going to tell you, they're not selfish all the time. Brothers sacrifice a lot. They sacrifice a lot for us, because sometimes we can be emotional and wishy-washy, especially certain times of the month. Heck, certain times of the year. I'm telling you right now, there's times I look at me and be like, girl, you bad, but I would not want to be married to you. So, true story, I have a friend, wonderful person, and I have a couple of them. And I told him, I'm like, be nice to your boo or your man, because I love you and I would not be married to you. I just couldn't do it. At the end of the day, I could say that to women. I could say that to men, but there is somebody for everybody. I do know that. And I do understand that. So, first thing out of the way, if you love somebody, I say, y'all get in here now. I'm still the Kim's they selfish all the time popped up. If you love someone, truly love someone, love does sacrifice. Love keeps no record of wrong. So I don't need y'all rehearsing what the person did last week. If you say you love them, or you're trying to love them, because you guys, there's nothing worse than you making a mistake and somebody telling you constantly that you made a mistake with them. It's like, if we can't get past this, we might as well just move on. I mean, because it's not going to work. So let me see. Kim is saying Bishop Weeks and Juanita Bynum wrote a book called Teach Me How to Love You. Oh, okay. Hey, Russell. So that's a referral that you might want to do it. And then the great song by Music Soul Child. That's one of my Teach Me How to Love. So I'm gonna say it's a yes for me. Teach somebody how to love you, and you don't have to sit down and say, "Look, I'm gonna teach you how to love me." I think what you say is, "Let me tell you what I like. Let me tell you what I don't like." Because if they love you, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna listen to that, and they're gonna respond accordingly. You're not gonna have to keep saying that. You just are. Well, let me say it again. We learn by repetition, so you may have to have grace and tell them more than once. And it's how you say it. If sometimes how you say things can make people receive it better, right? So let me get into the other part that Birdie was waiting for me to get into. Okay. Last hour, and we were talking about love. How about it is also loving? You heard that, Angee Coman Scott. Kim, you said you was going to be nice to Sister Angee. In last hour, we talked about love looking like loving someone and not being around them. So let me say for the record, I have people I love very much. I love the space they take up in my heart. I love the space they take up in my past. I love the memories and all the things we dealt with. But there's a season sometimes in your life when that kind of energy doesn't work for you. And it doesn't mean that you don't love them. It just means that I love you enough to keep you over there. Because sometimes if you love someone and you're in a season where their energy, now you can't do this. Can't do this if you're married to somebody. Okay? Can't do this if you love somebody. And we're going to take a break in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, yes. Right at 8:30. So you can't do this if you're married to somebody. But if you're friends or you're dating, sometimes you might need a little bit of space just to, can't even say if you're dating. Let's keep it with friends. Sometimes at a space and a season in your life, it feels like winter around them when you know good and well it should be spring, right? It's your spring, it's their winter. That can feel so awkward. First of all, that ain't how you showed up dressed. They putting a chill on your whole vibe and your whole energy. And so in that space, I think it's okay to give yourself a seasonal break and not spend so much time with that person and still love them. I'm going to say that. And I'm going to take a break and we're going to come back because I have some more questions for you about teaching people how to love you. Matter of fact, I have some tips on how to teach people how to love you. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You ready to take a break? I think she is.
Let me talk to you a little bit. Have you ever felt stuck? Not lazy, not unmotivated, just stuck. You feel like something needs to change, but you're not even sure where to start. Sometimes you feel extremely tired, the kind of tired that sleep can't even fix. What started happening with me, I started talking to women, and that's what I was hearing more than anything. I was hearing them say things like, I'm tired, but I still have to function. They're saying, what is this soft season everyone's talking about? They're talking about it, but they're not telling you how to get there, right? So soft season became this elusive thing or just this fantasy, but I wanted it to become a practice. So I started doing some digging and I realized this. When you're overwhelmed, you don't need 10 steps. You just need one. Because 10 steps will have you shutting down, right? Let me say that again. You don't need 10 steps. 10 steps will make you shut down. But we've discovered this. When the brain can't handle everything and it's overloaded, it can handle one step. That's all you need. One step. One step creates movement. Movement creates clarity, and clarity is where peace comes from. So that's where the one-step method came from. Not 12 steps, not fixing your whole life, just one powerful step out of survival into your soft season. Strong enough to move, soft enough to breathe. That part. So over 4 weeks, We're going to slow things down for you. We're going to help you get out of survival mode. We help you notice what's actually keeping you stuck. Then we help you choose yourself without guilt. And we help you take that one clear step forward, with support, of course. I'm even going to show you how to use some simple tools. Think of it as a thinking partner. Even AI is when your mind is cluttered and crowded and you just need a thinking partner. Nothing technical, just support. So this is the invitation. If you're craving a soft season, this is where it starts. If you're tired of surviving and ready to choose yourself, you're welcome here. If you don't need information, but you just need one step, this one is for you. The one-step method.
And we're back, you guys. I had to put on my glasses. I want to talk to you about 7 ways you can teach people how to love you. So for those of you that don't believe that you have to teach anyone to love you, I'm not going to tell you to check out right now. I'm going to tell you to listen to why it's important, okay? So number 1, and we kind of talked about this, get clear on your love language. Like, I know what mine is. So mine is words of affirmation, which is second. I think touch is first, words of affirmation. So there's a book out called 5 Love Languages. If you get into that, or you can just Google love language test online, you really can. And it will bring it up and you can take the test and it kind of tells you what you lean toward, and you may have more than one thing, right? Get clear on yours when you're trying to teach something. Get clear on your own love language before you try to pass out a syllabus that's really not relevant to you, right? So get clear on what it is. How do you do that? I wrote a book about this. Love yourself. Know what it looks like and know what it feels like, because you've gotten accustomed to doing it for you. Women, sometimes we want other people to make us feel a certain way, and it's not their job. We need to feel a certain way. And as we're doing what we want them to do, people learn by what they see. I know that's another one coming down the road. But number 1, get clear on what yours is. Love ain't, if you wanted to, I would. I'm going to take the test tonight. Good idea, Karen. Y'all can't wait to Karen come on. Thank you, D-Money. So this is a thing. Okay, you can't teach a class you haven't taken. So take the test. Find out what your love language is. Number 1. Yeah, because clarity is being kind and confusion is being cruel. So if you're confusing people, you don't even know what you want, but you expect somebody else to know what you want. No bueno. Number 2, speak your needs, not your complaints. People receive better from you when you're not complaining what they're not doing, but you're speaking what you need. Let me give you an example. Don't say you never listen to me. You never listen to me. You never listen to me. Kim, I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying. Don't say to people, you never listen to me. Let me give you an example on how to communicate that you want them. I feel loved when you put the phone down and you really hear me and you tune in. I'm guilty of that, you guys, because I think multitasking is the proper thing to do all the time. But it's not when you want to show somebody that you love them and you're honoring their words and you need to hear them. You have to focus on what is being said so you can really hear. So, yeah, because if you're blaming, the defense comes up and you don't hear nothing else after that. So not you always, and you never, you always, you already lied, because ain't nobody that consistent. Never, always. Come on. Ain't nobody that consistent. So I feel loved when you put the phone down and cut off the football game and you sit down and you listen to me. I feel loved that way. Not you never listen. You're always on your phone. You always, defense comes up. That's number 2. Number 3, show them. I was kind of hitting this. Show them, don't tell them. For instance, people learn by example. Love yourself out loud. What does that look like? Keep your boundaries. If it's no, it's no. Rest without guilt. I'm guilty of that. It's like Take a break. You don't have to always be doing something. You don't always have to be, because now they're looking at you and thinking you always have to be doing something. So they're going to give you some stuff to do. And speak kindly about yourself. You guys, I'm gonna give you an example. A lot of times we get upset and say our kids are selfish. They always want me to do something for them. They don't think I get tired. They don't think this. They don't think that. And so, you taught them that, because when you're tired, you still do stuff. When you don't feel like it, when they stop doing it, you do it anyway. So you're teaching them that. Stop doing it for them. They'll do it for themselves. And then you tell them, hey, mama's tired. I just came in. No, I'm not picking your clothes up. I'm going to go sit over here and take me a break. Now you're teaching them how to love you. So when you come home, they're going to be like, she's going to be tired. She's going to sit down and rest for a little bit. So I don't want to hear her mouth. I don't want to see her disappointed. I'm going to pick this up myself. Instead of you coming in fussing and picking it up, it's like, don't do that. Okay, number 4. Reinforce the behavior you want. You guys, I'm not saying treat each other like kids, but let's face it. We learn by repetition. That never changes. I don't care how old you get. It never changes. We learn best by repetition. It's science. You wouldn't even know your name, honestly, if somebody didn't continue to call it. That's why somebody think their name is Junebug, because that's all they called you. You had to learn later, hey, they call me that because I'm a junior. But anyway, I'm being funny, but reinforce the behavior. Let me give you an example. When they do love you well, say it, acknowledge it. How hard is that? Appreciate it, name it, say, baby, thank you so much for picking up food because I was so tired. Thank you for bringing that in. Reinforce it. Oh, that was so sweet of you. I know you love me because I don't have nothing left. And somehow you knew that. Appreciate it, because then it gets reinforced. But, if they coming in and you be like, you better have did it because y'all wouldn't have been eating. Totally different body language, totally different outcome from that behavior. So, yeah, people repeat what feels like they're being rewarded. And silence is not feedback. So you don't say nothing because you fussing, and you don't say nothing, not good enough. Thank you, baby. Appreciate it. Okay, number 5. Stop expecting mind reading. You guys, I said this before. Mind reading is not a love language. Okay, it's not. It's not a love language. And even if you're clairvoyant, a lot of times it doesn't work really well in a relationship like that. If you haven't said it clearly, lovingly, and consistently, you can't really hold somebody accountable for that. Yeah, healthy love sounds like this. I need reassurance. Quality time matters to me. I don't feel safe when voices gets raised. When you're yelling at me, I don't feel safe and I feel like I might need to hit you or something like that. No, we don't want to do that. So I'm being facetious. There's never a reason to hit anyone. My dad told me this. He's like, look, I'm going to go off to explain this hit thing. I really, really do not like that. So I am going to tell you this. My dad told me growing up, because he loved me, he's like, sissy, and he'd tell me that because when mom got mad, she was swinging. He was like, sissy, don't ever hit a man. Don't ever hit a man. And I tell my sons, though, they better not ever be hitting a woman. He never advocated that. A lot of times my mom would get mad and start swinging, and he'd be trying to hold her hands like, calm down, because I guess that's the Native American in her or whatever. But she would get angry and just start swinging. She wanted to fight when she was mad. And my dad said to me, baby, don't ever hit a man because he has every right to defend himself. And I'm not saying it's right, but never hit him. And if you feel like you got to hit him, that you're so mad at him that you want to fight him, you don't need him, especially if you're in that position a lot. You don't need him. There's something in your life that he is not providing for you, and it doesn't feel like love to you. And if you're coming out swinging and you're angry enough to fight somebody or you want to hurt somebody in that way, that is not your person. Come home. That's what he said to me. Just come home to your daddy. But, he's not here now. But the point is, don't do that. And, at that point, don't do that. You got 5 brothers and the daddy. And if you feel that way, leave. Because if he hits you, I'm going to have to come for him. Again, you guys, hit the like button, share it, and go to YouTube and subscribe. Number 6, we're going to get through these tonight. We're going to make sure we get through them. watch the effort, not the promises, because people will tell you stuff and it don't line up. The words don't line up with the actions, but you still looking for them to do what they promised you to do, and you got faith. But faith is not a love language. I'm sorry, you guys. I had so much fun with that. Faith is not a love language either. Karen said, my dad said the same thing and also said, because you have 6 brothers. See, she had one more brother than me. Because you have 6 brothers don't mean you have to hit a man. True. Because if you hit them and they hit you back, now your brothers is looking for them. That's no bueno either. So watch the effort, not the promise. Let me go on that a little bit. And here's the grown woman truth, okay? If someone can learn and wants to learn, you'll see progress in how they treat you. If you tell them, babe, I don't want to shack up with you for the rest of my life. I really want to be married. Marriage sounds like to me that you value me enough to put your name on me. I don't know who I'm talking to or who I'm talking for. You value me enough to put your name on me. That's important to me. And if you can take it or leave it, and it's important to me, seems like you want to do what's important to me because you love me. It just sounds like it. Number 8, it's okay to ask the one you love for help when you need it. Look, I haven't even gotten to number 7 yet. I'm going to make that number 8. But number 6, watch effort, not promise. If they dismiss, minimize, or mock your needs, that's not confusion. That's real information. They're telling you it's not important to them. And like I said, faith is not a love language. So if you walk around here in faith, you're not really showing love for them. You're showing a dislove for yourself. And people are going to do what you do and not what you say. So if you don't love and respect yourself, why should they, male or female? Okay, number 7. Know when teaching turns into over-explaining. If you find yourself reteaching the same lesson, justifying basic respect, shrinking your needs just to keep the peace, that's not teaching anymore. That's self-abandonment. You have forgotten your first love and God and you. You know, for my Christians out there, you know, I quote this a lot. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, so how are you loving your neighbor when you haven't figured out how to love yourself? And loving yourself looks like having boundaries and making sure someone understands what your boundaries are clearly, because we don't need them to have to pull out a tarot card to understand who you are and what you want. That's not grown people stuff. It's not, and it's not cute. Well, he better figure it out. No, tell him. Why he gotta tell him? And I know the last guy didn't like you telling him nothing, and he was a little on the violent side. This guy shouldn't be that way. If he is, then you might need to take a space in dating, because what happens sometimes, it's a spiritual thing. That spirit is still on you. And the type of man you left, if you're not careful, you will attract that to yourself, because you haven't cleansed the spirit or the leftover mess that's on you from the last relationship. And so you keep attracting the same thing you got away from. So the only way to do that is to pull away and heal yourself. And then you show up healed to somebody. And you don't have this big sign on your head saying, I don't love me, so you can come over here and treat me any kind of way you want to, because that's what I just left. And I'm set up and ready for it again. Give yourself a space. Give yourself a break to figure out what you really want and what you need in this life. And I mean, that's if you can. Now, if you're married, I'm telling you, I'm not. They're going to be like, Pat told me to leave you for a season. I did not. And number 8, look, I think it was something like, I think Todd added number 8, because number 7, that's it, not over explaining. Because baby, love does not require you to disappear for somebody to be able to take you, to be digestible. You have to completely disappear. No, love doesn't require that. And number 8, if you love someone, you may have to become vulnerable and tell them what you need, or that you need help in an area. Sometimes that can be scary, because that's vulnerability. It's like, what if I tell them that and they see me as a weak person? You guys, that happens for men and for women. They don't want to look weak in a relationship, especially when they're supposed to show up strong. or when they show up strong in other areas, sometimes it's hard to look weak or vulnerable to your mate. It looks like they might judge me. They may say, you always need something. You're so needy. Women have learned, a lot of us have learned that men love strength, but not necessarily, not necessarily when they want you to be vulnerable. Bishop was preaching today, and he was talking about how long it takes for meat to be tender or something. Sometimes it takes a slow simmering. You can't just cook it fast. You know, and even in relationship, you don't just jump into it fast. And he's like, can you imagine having a beautiful woman that is tough? I mean, you know, she's not tender. Some women think that's sexy. A lot of men think that's not. So, so it's hard. It's hard. Okay, fellas, I'm gonna need y'all to understand this. Okay. I'm pixelating. Okay, I'm sorry. She's telling me to pixelate a little bit. Okay, is that better? I think so. Fellas, it is difficult sometimes for women to try to figure out what you want, how you want her to show up in your life, because men are just as different as women. And the fellas sometimes are like, I can't figure out what she wants. She doesn't tell me, but then she's just frustrated that I'm not giving her what she wants. Guess what? That's on the flip side too for women. It's like, I feel like I can't please him. If I'm doing too much, he gets upset. If I'm not doing enough, he's like, can you do something? But when you do something, it's like, you're doing the most, you're doing too much. So it's an awkward place to be when the person is not communicating to you what they need in love. So we're going to go back to the same question. And I'm going to remind you, we're also live on dopejamsradio.online. So I'm going to go back to the questions. Do you ask or show someone or teach someone how to love you? Yes. I'm going to say yes if you really want a realistic relationship and you want them to be around. Now, if you're not that interested, don't tell them nothing. It's not it's not even worth your time. And y'all, that matters too. Be honest with somebody. You got people over here wasting time. You're just a placeholder. You're a placeholder until they find something more interesting or something that is really more their speed. And no, it's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to them. I wish that all people would really, really be honest to the point and learn how to be honest in their communication. Honest to the point that if someone is not enough to love you, or something they're doing is really causing you angst or problems, start figuring out little ways to talk to them about it. I recommend this. Of course, stuff can get lost in text. I'm just saying a whole bunch of text sometimes is not good. But if you have somebody you love and you care about, and when you get together, you don't do a lot of talking. Maybe you're doing other stuff. I don't know. But you don't do a lot of talking. Sometimes a long, heartfelt letter when you're feeling how you're feeling in the middle of the night and sending it to them before you change your mind helps, because at least they get an insight into who you are and how you're thinking, the things you're not brave enough to tell them in your face. Be bold enough to tell them at some point how you feel. I have told plenty of people, and they may be watching this. Angee saying, what if the person you love is not responding to any of this? That goes back to the other question I said. Sometimes teaching does not look like teaching and repetition does not look like completely falling on deaf ears. Sometimes if they're not responding to any of it, they don't want to. That has to be addressed too, because love is a verb and love is action. Bertie and Kim said it earlier, especially those of you who are stick to biblical truths. It says God loved so much that he gave, or he did a sacrificial of his son to redeem you. All these things are actions. They're sacrificial actions. Should not be a one-sided thing. It should not always be the woman sacrificing, guys. It shouldn't be. And it shouldn't always be you sacrificing. That goes both ways. It's never going to be 50-50. Sometimes it's going to be 80-20. Sometimes it's going to be 90-10. But the point is, if you love each other, that should shift. There should be a season sometimes when the woman is giving 80 and you're giving 10. And then sometimes when you're giving 20, sometimes you're giving more, she's giving less. But the point is you're giving. And love causes you to give. Love causes an action or a reaction on both sides. So if you're not being loved right, you're not communicating and they're not receiving it. Do you believe love is a decision and not an emotion? I believe one thing leads to another. For instance, sometimes, amen. I think sometimes you decide to love somebody and you're like, hey, I'm going to do this thing because I love them. I'm going to do this thing. And then, but that first came out of an emotion. You felt a certain way about that person. And that emotion or that feeling you had for them made you make a decision to love them. Now, I'm going to need y'all to know something. Women's minds can change. Who was that said, when a woman's fed up, it ain't nothing you can do about it? Yeah. Decisions change as well when you're given enough facts and enough evidence. And you guys, guess what? A lot of times our feelings are not facts. We have feelings or emotions about things. It's not a fact. True story. I have looked at a situation before and said, this person is not like me. Every time I come in the space or every time I come in the room, they look down, look away, they avoid me. This was some years ago. I found out recently they did that because it was just the opposite. They had a serious crush on me. And it felt like rejection. It felt like anger, and it felt like disrespect. That's what I was reading, but it was totally the opposite. So I was feeling disrespected in all of that based on their emotions or how they were responding to me, but it wasn't true. So we can go around thinking this person got to be this way or got to be doing this because of what I see. But you want to change the way you look at something? Change the way you look at it. It's that simple. You want to change your perspective? Look at it from a different side or look at it from a different angle. Because, I mean, you see the back of somebody's head. If you come around, you're going to see the front. So the bottom line is you have the power. Nobody can make you feel any kind of way. Nobody has that kind of power. You have the power to love. It's a decision that comes from the emotion behind it. Love is a noun, emotion, but loving is a verb or action. Okay. There you go. That's that deepness again coming from Brother Todd. But but you guys, it has been great. I appreciate the feedback. What's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen this week. If somebody missed this show and you share it on your page, so do that. I mean, if you haven't done it yet, do it now. And just say, I know this is for somebody. Somebody is out there now trying to make a decision based on some emotions they're dealing with. If they're going to stay or if they're going to go. And it could be all they have to do is sit down and take the time, if the person's willing to hear, take the time and teach them what their love language is and how to love them. And it could be a decision after that to stay because they've changed. They've changed how they dealt with you based on the information you gave them. Now they're not going off of feelings. They're going off of facts. If it's important to you, that's what you'll take the time to do. Now, I am going to share this before we get off of here. Sometimes you're in a relationship you've been in for a long time. It means a lot to you and you're not ready to give up. Sometimes you should, but anyway, you're not ready to give up. If that person is willing, maybe they're not hearing you. Sister Angee asked that question before. What if that person is not changing and you keep telling them this? If they're willing and they really love you, Sometimes you can bring in a third party. You guys, that's how I made my living for a long time. Sometimes you can bring in a third party, a non-biased third party, and share what you're saying. And that person hears it better coming from a different person. It is so frustrating. I used to say in my previous life, I said that to him. Why didn't he hear it from me? Well, first of all, he's mad at you. You didn't say it right. You said it with an attitude, and it was already a shutdown. So a third party comes in and he say, I feel like this person is trying to say this. Well, why didn't he say that before? I did. You weren't listening. That's what I was trying to say. The point is, as long as it gets across, I mean, back in the day, God used a donkey to speak to somebody. So I'm just saying, hey, listen. And if you can't get them to listen to you, write it down. And if they can't respond to you that way, bring someone else in. And you guys, hey, you know what? I believe in biblical truths. And they were saying, if a brother offends you, let them know. And if they don't listen, bring somebody else in. It's just amazing, isn't it? How sometimes when you read the Bible and the principles, they really work in everyday life. Bring someone else in and let them listen. They don't listen, then bring them before the congregation. I would say bring them before, their peers or family or somebody who really loves you and wants you to be together. Bring them there. At that point, if they don't listen, shake the dust off your feet and walk away. Is no way to fix it. So, hey, sissy. So at the end of the day, if you love someone, share with them how you feel loved by them. And it changes. So sisters, be patient. Yeah, he may not have wanted you to dress up before, but maybe it matters to him now. Maybe lingerie matters now. Didn't matter before. Maybe it does now. Whatever it is, be willing to do what the other person needs, because you're going to want them to do that for you if you change. So anyway, that has been the show tonight. I'm trying not to wait to the last minute so Sister Angee can fuss at me about not giving the time for the show to roll. I am going to give you some announcements. You know how they have in church, they have church announcements. Next Sunday, all of the shows on Level Up Nation will be reruns. We'll probably show this one again unless something happens this week. Hint, hint. But anyway, we'll probably, we will all show reruns because next Sunday happens to be a lot of people's personal holidays. It's Super Bowl Sunday. So, yes, we are not fixing to compete with all these fans out there and wanting to see it. And it's a big deal here in the States. It's a big deal. So we will show reruns so everybody can attend their Super Bowl parties, hang out, wear their colors, whether the people won or lost. That's the thing. So hey. So next Sunday, we will have a rerun. The following Sunday, we'll be alive again and back in here. And I'm going to be talking about love. Ain't no telling what we're going to be talking about and who's going to be on here. But that's what's going to be happening. And coming soon, I know you guys saw the little commercial. We have a men's show coming up called Herd. Herd. He earns respect daily. I'm a little offended because I'm excited about it coming, and they told me there's no women ever going to be on their show, and that includes me. Somehow, I didn't think that included me, and Kim didn't think that included her either. But because we're Level Up Nation, we're sisters. It's like, what is the deal? No, there will never be a woman on that show because men need to be heard, and they need to share their feelings without being interrupted. I don't know why they think they'd be interrupted. But anyway, evidently that is a time for men. Herd is coming. You heard? Yes. So I'm going to be right there and I'm going to get my practice and I'm going to have some this works too, you guys. If you know you got some stuff that you want to say, especially at the break, text it out, put it in your notes, copy it so you can drop it in there real quick. And they can't get away without you saying it, right? Okay. He said, finally, more brothers on here other than him and Tony. Hey, the more brothers, the better. I think we need to hear our men talk and need to hear their heart. That's how we know what y'all want. Because y'all can tell us stuff I don't like fake, I don't like fake hair and fake tails, and somebody passed by and you're like, whoa. So we need to hear what you're really thinking. And hopefully, since y'all coming together, y'all will share for real, straight talk from the heart, like we do here on Pat Nash Talks. That's been our show for tonight. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing the content. Thank you so much for going to YouTube and subscribing. It's going to help. I promise you. It is going to help. Thank you, Lanzine. That's my beautiful sister. Thank you all for being here consistently and sharing this on your pages. I see a lot of people, Mary Goolsby, I see a lot of people who share the content here, even if it's not for you. And you don't have to say, oh, I'm going to put so-and-so's name in here. You can. Birdie would do something like that because he can be a messy saint sometimes. But share it on your page, and then that allows people to come to Level Up Nation in their shows, and that allows sponsorships and a lot of things. So we're doing this thing together. 2026, it's on. That's my show. Good night, you all. See you next time.
Don't touch that dial. Just chill for a while. Keep it locked with my man Tony D. Welcome to something new, something you're not used to. It's fresh and guaranteed to bless. It's a new day with a new sound. Keep it locked, you're listening to the new artist profile. Thank God for music, new music on the radio.
What's going on, you guys? Adrian Constanary Jr. here, and I'm here to talk to you about a brand new show that we're bringing to Level Up Nation called The Herd. He earns respect daily. This is an all-men's talk show where we'll be making a lot of different topics come to light, and where all excuses will get checked at the door, but also where brotherhood will be pushed. So we'll have a lot of different things. Make sure you guys tune in, join in with the comments, and give us a couple different things. Feed into this conversation. But we're looking forward to talking with you every Sunday. Make sure you tune in with Level Up Nation. I'm Adrian Constanary, one of the co-hosts for The Herd, ready to talk with you.
Now rocking with the CHH, so tune in to the CHH.
Yeah, this is the theme song, not an interlude. CHH with Kim and Birdie, I hope you're in the mood. For a special guest in the interview. Supporting the kingdom, and we continue to bring it to you non-stop. Yo, the show's a pop. Sunday night, 7 Central, we all in the spot. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, keep it locked. We Level Up Nation, we rising to the top. Yo, it's a Holy Ghost party, get your groove on. The KB double player, keep your move on. You can make the convertible if you groove strong. Come on and get your praise on for about an hour long. Shout out to Kim, yo, this is our song. You can check the time zone, the show's coming on. Tell your friends to tune in, we won't steer you wrong. CHH with Kim and Birdie, tap in and cheer along.
You're now rocking with the CHH, so tune in to the CHH.
Hello, everyone. This is Pat Nash of Pat Nash Talks. I'm here every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us right here on Level Up Nation.
We all looking for a connection, something real, something true. In a world full of broken promises, I still believe in you. Every problem, every answer, got a face, got a name.
Let me talk to you a little bit. Have you ever felt stuck? Not lazy, not unmotivated, just stuck. You feel like something needs to change, but you're not even sure where to start. You know, sometimes you feel extremely tired, the kind of tired that sleep can't even fix. What started happening with me, I started talking to women, and that's what I was hearing more than anything. I was hearing them say things like, I'm tired, but I still have to function. They're saying, what is this soft season everyone's talking about? They're talking about it, but they're not telling you how to get there, right? So soft season became this elusive thing, or just this fantasy, but I wanted it to become a practice. So I started doing some digging, and I realized this. When you're overwhelmed, you don't need 10 steps. You just need one. Because 10 steps will have you shutting down, right? Let me say that again. You don't need 10 steps. 10 steps will make you shut down. But we've discovered this. When the brain can't handle everything and it's overloaded, it can handle one step. That's all you need. One step. One step creates movement. Movement creates clarity, and clarity is where peace comes from. So that's where the one-step method came from. Not 12 steps, not fixing your whole life, just one powerful step out of survival into your soft season. Strong enough to move, soft enough to breathe. That part. So over 4 weeks, we're going to slow things down for you. We're going to help you get out of survival mode. We help you notice what's actually keeping you stuck. Then we help you choose yourself without guilt. And we help you take that one clear step forward, with support, of course. I'm even going to show you how to use some simple tools. Think of it as a thinking partner. Even AI is when your mind is cluttered and crowded, and you just need a thinking partner. Nothing technical, just support. So this is the invitation. If you're craving a soft season, this is where it starts. If you're tired of surviving and ready to choose yourself, you're welcome here. If you don't need information, but you just need one step, this one is for you. The one-step method.